Hello students, Dr. Barnes here. Let's take a look at this question. This question is a signals and systems question, and we're supposed to find this signal, find the Fourier transform for this signal. Alright, so here, this is what I can actually write on this particular signal. So I can see that x of t is equals to e exponent at into u of what? T. Okay, into u of t. Now I'm supposed to find the Laplace transform. Okay, that is L of what? X of t, which is the same thing as what? X of what? S, which is equals to integral minus infinity to infinity. Okay, x of t into e exponent minus st dt, which is equals to integral minus infinity to infinity e exponent at into u of t into e exponent minus st dt. Okay, all right. So this one, the first thing I would like to find is to find my ROC, which is my region of convergence. Okay, convergence. Okay, so convergence. Okay, so let me find my ROC. Okay, so to find my ROC, it is important that I plot the unit step signal, which is u of t. So briefly, let me plot u of t. So here is what? X of what? T. And then here is my u of what? T. And here is what? T. And here is 1. And here is 0. Here is infinity. Okay. So now basically I can say that my signal is actually from x of s. Okay, it's actually from 0 to what? Infinity, because it's from 0 to infinity. Okay, into e exponent what? At. I can omit the u of t because its value is 1. Okay, into what? E exponent minus what? St dt. So this is my signal. And now I said I want to find the region of what? Convergence, which is the ROC. So the ROC is given by integral 0 to infinity x of what? T into e minus sigma t, okay, dt. Why? Because s is equals to what? Sigma plus what? J omega. Okay. So here, what I will get is that 0 to what? Infinity. E exponent what? At, okay, into E exponent At into E minus sigma t, okay, dt, which is equals to 0 to what? Infinity. E exponent okay, what I can say here is I can bring minus here, and then I can bring sigma here. Alright, and I can bring another minus here, and I can bring a here, and then I can bring t here. Okay, dt. So this is equals to this is actually supposed to be equals to what happens here is that for simple mathematical knowledge, okay, in terms of the ROC, okay, is supposed to be less than what? Infinity. It's supposed to be less than infinity. So what I have here is supposed to be what? Less than what? Infinity. It's supposed to be less than infinity. Before this one can be infinity, okay, and looking at the point where and looking at the space, the plane, the space at where my graph, my u of t lies, it lies at the positive x-axis. That means that my u of t lies at the what? Positive x-axis, meaning that it is what? Positive. Okay, it is positive. Then if it is positive, then for this one to be less than infinity, for it to be less than infinity, then what it means is that q minus a must be what? Greater than what? 0, because here you see that it's lying at the positive. It is what? Greater than what? 0. So from simple mathematical knowledge, all right, q minus what? A is greater than what? 0. And then so that means that q is greater than positive what? A. Q is greater than what? Positive A. Okay, and so what we say here is that q sorry, it's not q, sigma is greater than what? Positive A. Okay, so this sigma, we call it what? Real of s. So this is what? Real of what? S, which is this sigma, is greater than what? A. Alright, so from here I can draw my S-plane. So let me just briefly draw my S-plane. Okay, so this is my S-plane. So here is imaginary of S, which is the same thing as j omega. Here is what? Sigma, which is the same thing as what? Real of what? S. Here is what? 0. Here is 0. Okay, so here what I can do is plot my A. But I know that A is what? Positive. So positive A can be somewhere here. So real of S, okay, is equals to what? A, which is somewhere here. Now I'll draw a broken line through that particular point, through my A. Okay, so now I'm supposed to find the plane A. How do I find this plane A? You see that I have that q minus A is greater than what? 0. So which place is greater than 0? This is the place. This place is less than 0. This place, the place is supposed to be what? Greater than 0. You can see that here to here is greater than what? 0. But A is at this point, so I cannot choose here. That means that I must choose here. Here is less than 0, and A is not here. A is rather here. So it's this place which is what? Greater than 0. So I'll shade here. Okay, so this graph is called S-plane. Okay, this graph is the S-plane. Okay, so now having been able to find this one, briefly let me find my Laplace transform. Okay, so my Laplace transform x of s is equals to here is from 0 to what? Infinity. Why is it from 0 to infinity? Because you can see that my graph is from what? 0 to what? Infinity. Okay, so here from 0 to infinity, okay, e exponent what? At into e minus what? S what? T. Okay, it's actually equals to what? 0 to what? Infinity. E into what? E into I can say that what I can say here is that I can just bring this one out. Okay, I can just bring this minus out. If I bring minus out, I'll have what? Minus, I can have minus out. And then if I bring minus out, I can have s minus what? A. S minus A into what? T. Okay, dt. Okay, so if I do that, then in terms of integration, I'm going to have minus 1 over what? S minus A over S minus A into what? Into E into minus S minus what? A into T. Okay, so here what are my limits? My limits are 0 and then what? Infinity, which is equals to minus 1 over what? S minus A into what? Into E exponent. You bring the upper limit first, okay? So if you bring the upper limit here, it becomes what? E exponent minus what? Infinity. Okay, so here my S minus A is positive. Why am I saying S minus A is positive? Because you can see that Q minus A is what? Positive. That means that my graph lies in the what? My graph lies in the positive region of the x-axis. It lies in the positive region of the x-axis, okay? All right. So, So that means that this place is what? Positive. Unlike the previous one we solved, whereby this place was negative. In this case, this place is what? Positive. So I will have e exponent minus what? Infinity. And then I'll bring 0. So e exponent what? 0. Okay, so if I do that, I'm going to have minus 1 over what? S minus what? A into what? E exponent minus infinity minus e exponent what? 0, which is equals to minus 1 over what? S minus a into what? 0 minus what? 1. Okay, which is going to be equals to 1 over what? S minus what? A. Okay, so that means that the Laplace transform of x of what? T, which is equals to here Laplace transform of what? Of e exponent what? At into u of what? T. Okay, is going to be equals to this x of s. Okay, into which is going to what? 1 over what? 1 over s minus what? A. Okay, and where does it occur? It occurs at what? Real of s. It occurs at what? Real of s being greater than what? Being greater than a. So this will be the end of this particular question. All right. Okay.